Well, hey there team, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a bit more Hardspace Shipbreaker. Back on the hardcore run. We just ticked over our new level of certification. Thank God it saved it. Like I said, in the pre-release format, I remember probably around about here, like an entire certification level got wiped from my play. But that was before the channel, because I started a new playthrough for the channel. Very frustrating. Good to know that it hasn't repeated. Well, let's get some repairs in. I figure, as a rule of thumb, if it goes below 50%, I'll repair it. We've probably got a whole bunch of new toys to buy. Split saw range. And look, I'm just going to work top down. I'm not that worried. We're going to get there in the end. It's not a race. It's I guess it's a marathon. It's a long distance sort of event. But then if we have a look at this, what's that going to cost us? $875. So that's going to take a little while. Now, what are we looking at here? Electrical, mechanical, coolant. What a joke. 500 kegs of coolant. We're going to get that by accident. Work orders, of course, is what we always wonder about. Electrical 150. Ooh, okay. Right. Okay, let's see how we go. But generally speaking, grinding credits is one of the last things. To be perfectly honest, we just grind LT, you know? That might actually be the big trick because we got certified before we unlocked all of our LT upgrades, indicating that we probably need to put a heavier focus on LT grind. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. We've unlocked a new grade, actually. We've got the hard grade, so this is going to be good. This is going to be very good. Have we got industrials? We do. We do have industrial. Oh man, good, because I love them. They're my favorites. The Persephone, let's grab that. Some good names for these ships. Do like them. And then we're just gonna bloody punch out work orders. Now on the main playthrough, I gave doing the bloody
Welcome to Vendatron 9000.
I gave doing the nanocarbon a go. Oh wow, that's not a thing on here. Interesting. That's cool. I like that. Anyway, there was so much nanocarbon that it needed process. It was actually kind of ridiculous. Salvage power generator. Salvage metal. Metal is so difficult to do. I think actually this, more than the mackerel, you actually do need to salvage all the aluminium. We're gonna skip over that. Let's salvage metal 470. Thrusters. 3 thrusters for 450. I can get around that. I'd buy that for $1.
Airlock pressure levels increasing. Air pressure level decreasing.
Jesus.
Pressure level decreasing.
Alright, none of the airlocks need to cycle, but that's about it.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
We'll isolate you because we like to be safe. Now, someone suggested, even though it was the other playthrough, the coolant issue I had might have been because there was a heat sink associated with the coolant room. It's an unusual occurrence, but that might have been what caused all the problems that we had. If you've been watching the other playthrough as well, I isolated all the coolant, and yet it still had an active coolant line, which is not supposed to happen. So, seems rare to be honest. Alright. What we might do is see about taking the tail section out. Oh, I don't have the super cutter yet, so we're good. Now, that should make the whole back section come away, right? I saw daylight just then, or whatever you want to call it. So we might use this as a hole to squeeze my head through. Come on, big squeezies. Come on, give me good news. Oh, maybe it's because I'm not straight on. No? Doesn't seem to want to release. Okay. Could be interesting. Don't hit me, please.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
It's doing a wheelie. Oh, well, this might be the easiest way to do it then, I guess. Wonder why they're not pulling away. It's not a... hang on. Wouldn't mind investigating what's going on here. That whole section's coming apart. Oh, look, there it is. It's literally this. You silly boy. I bet you that's all it was.
Caution. Tether supplies running low.
Oh no, it won't be that simple, right? Because that's part of the rear section that's all sort of bolted together in a way, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, we're here for the thrusters. Oh, did you seriously just do that? Don't. Oh my god. Make me angry, game. What is going on there? Out you come. Geez, what an absolute dick drag pulling these thrusters out has been.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Stuff it. Come out this way. Just get out, you know?
Warning. No tethers remaining.
Yeah, thanks, Shaz. Well aware of it.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
9,000.
Get that power generator for 350. It looks like it's the next biggest item. Like I said, we're going to skip the metal. We know better than that. Alright, nice. So, power generator should be at the front in this particular model.
Account credit applied.
Unfortunately, I think the quickest way to do all of this is going to be legit cutting the front open. It's alright, we've still got time. We'll cut all this as we go. And this is the pilot side, bugger. That should be enough for 2 cuts, right? Yeah, 2 cuts. You know, I'm gonna actually have to start isolating the fuses. For the while there,
Salvage
we
secured.
could get away with it,
Credits deposited.
but more and more they're actually sparking a lot of things. They must have made the sparks bigger or something. What are we looking at here? Salvage coolant. Great. I was worried about going in the furnace, to be honest, so that's why I kind of swung it out that quick.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Perfect. Come on. Oh, moving a bit fast there. Salvage heat sink.
There's 5 minutes remaining in this shift. Get in while the getting's good. We wrap.
The fuck are you stuck on? God damn it. Can't just be easy, can it?
Salvage destroyed. Please avoid damaging valuables.
Pull your head in, Shaz. I'm the professional here. Who are you? Sitting in your call center. Get out of it. Alright.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Salvage 2 heat sinks, the game tells me. Where's the other heat sink game? What the actual fuck? Come on. What a load of shit. It's nonsense. There's no other heatsink. Oh, what have I gotten me stuck into now? 4 atmospheric regulators. We can do that. Oh, can we? We haven't really cut the floor away, have we? I mean, maybe.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
Man, this is the way to play this game. The non-completionist way. So good. So much of this ship just not going to get salvaged. I think we're really starting to get into the point.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
It's interesting because I love to rant about the completionist mentality. Does this not have an atmospheric? It's an airlock. How does it not have an atmospheric thing?
Damage to LYNX equipment.
It occurs to me that, like, I was thinking about it, the completionist mentality and predilection, it must be because it's difficult to fulfill that, like, professionally. Because I've worked plenty of jobs, right? I've done my fair share of running things in the military, and you know, I've done like some project management and management in general, to be perfectly honest. And
Oxygen level stabilizing.
the thing, nothing will ever be 100%. In fact, that's the best way to torpedo a project. That's the best way to fail at your job, is to try and 100% complete everything. I'm not saying you need to have loose ends and cut corners. That's not what I'm saying. But there's, you know, usually there'll be a purview of the project like this, do the work orders and get out sort of thing. And, oh God, I don't know where I'm going to get the other things from. 20 seconds, stuff this, let's just try and get some money. Yeah, so it sort of occurred to me, like, generally speaking, if you do ever come across, like, I've had guys work for me like that, which, you know, they have to write a spreadsheet for everything and they have to be 100% anal about it, but, like, you know, and that's all good and well in their worker bee perspective, but you quite often you have to step in and say, mate, what are you doing? You're not actually doing your job. Your job is to do this thing, not all this other stuff to try and 100% everything. It's difficult to anecdotally speak about it. Like, I don't want to give specific examples, but it is interesting because I was thinking about it. I was like, there's not really many jobs where you can just 100% everything in an anal retentive way for the sake of the job, right? Not your personal idiosyncratic belief and leaning, but for the job. And I was like, yeah, that's true. Like, the closest thing I could ever think is, like, if you were, I don't know, if you're doing some plumbing work, you know, for your own sort of contracted tradie work, I guess you could consider doing the job from A to B done. But the thing is, like, you're probably going to leave, you know, sharp edges on pipes or a bit of bloody grease around the fixtures and all that. I can't really, like, I haven't worked as a tradie in plumbing, right? But, like, my point is, there is a, it's not just good enough, because that sounds like a weak attempt to do the job. It's like there is a standard to do the job, but then there's a lot of peripheral stuff that if you wanted to be anal about it, you could do, but it's going to just cost you time and then money. You know, you're not going to get to the next job and that sort of stuff. And yeah, I find a hard time. I thought about it, and I think that there's not really any profession that I can think of where you can 100% something to your heart's satisfaction and then move on, right? The job and the time, the constraints and all the other things are more important. And then I thought, maybe that's why you do get people that get so anal about completionists and all that sort of stuff in video games and collecting trophies and trying to complete stuff, because, you know, the nature of almost any job on the world, which is most of what we do is work, you can never complete anything, pretty much everything. You ship a project close enough, good enough, and within the realms, and hopefully you tick all the boxes that you agreed to, you know? Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's interesting. And that's why I play this game, because this game's doing its best to, you know, I know it's a video game, but it's a take on a labor job in the future. It's doing a simulation of a job. And so then you've got the two sort of things clash up against each other. Like I said previously, no job can ever really be completed 100% and still do your job just by virtue. That's my general philosophy, I would say. And if you think otherwise, I'd be curious to hear what you have to say. But I just usually, like, if you want 100% something, it's going to cost more money, it's going to cost more time, and that's it. You're going to lose the project, or worse, you're not going to get the tender next time around, and that's it. So to indulge yourself in that way is difficult professionally. So here we have a game trying to do a simulation of a professional thing, which by sort of virtue is that you can never be 100% anal completionist, and yet it attracts people that want to do whole buffalo and complete it, because that's why they turn to video games, perhaps, based on that theorem I was talking about. It's interesting. It must drive those people insane. Anyway, as it goes on, like, you can already see here, if you want the LT, you got to get in, get the job done, triage it, and get out, right? Maybe do it in 2 shifts for, like, the nanocarbon ones and all that, but I'm still not 100% complete that you could beat the 2 shifts. Like someone pointed out that I left LT on the floor, they were saying, right? But I would argue to get all that LT that they wrote in the comment, it probably would have taken me 3 shifts, right? Now divide all that total LT by 3 and tell me that it's more than doing it 1 shift on average. Remember, bear in mind you can stuff up, you can blow things up, whatever. So like, I feel that this game's doing a really good job of it, but it probably kills the completionists. They probably can't handle it because it's moving more towards, like I said, if you want those LT, you have to go in there with a purpose and you have to leave 95% of the ship on the cutting room floor. And I find that very fascinating. But anyway, it's just sort of a meandering thought I was having about people's predilection towards completionism, and I feel it's probably because it's something they want, but they can't get in real life, perhaps. I'm not trying to put words in people's mouths or paint them into a box or anything like that, but I'm just curious because that was my next thought. In any job I've ever done, you have objectives to tick, right? But that's different from doing everything 100%. I would argue, because like the striving for the utopia, for example, is a fantastic thing to strive for, say as a society, or you can transplant that into another job or doing the job properly. But the point is you can never have it. It's just not possible to get everything perfect. Perfection is the pursuit. It's never the end state. You don't want to overthink that too, because that will make you nihilistic and upset. You need to pursue perfection and refine it. But God help you if you ever actually perfected something. That would be the end of it. You've now killed that pursuit. Anyway, interesting stuff. You know I like a good waffle. Team, another shift well done. Got through it. I do like the random work orders. That it's hard to triage them on the clock and figure out what's best. But that's good. By playing more, we're gonna figure out what's better and what's less risk. I'm gonna have to probably start doing the fuses now. And yeah, anyway, team, thanks again for joining me. We might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.